Today's topic name is the impeccable yardstick. Leaders in bygone eras were chosen based on succession rather than merit. Power was passed down generations from the great grandfather to far grandfather, from father to son and grandson, and so on. Choices were limited, and a few influential families enjoyed a monopoly over the rest. Potential leaders from other families were suppressed. There was no freedom of speech and no democratic setup to judge neutrally. Citizens had no voice. The king was above the law. This observation is reasonable inasmuch as it is based on historical data. Modern history, on the other hand, tells us that the present day model of governance is transparent and that democracy gives everyone a chance to rise from rags to riches, citizen to minister. It prides itself on uplifting everyone, men, women, and those who belong to the third gender too. This too appears to be a completely logical, fair, and practical model. The propagators of modernity should give the traditionalists a chance to explain why empires and kings and the apparent nepotism of choosing heirs held sway the way it did. Is it right on the part of advocates of modernity to pronounce a strongly judgmental verdict on the methods of their predecessors? Moreover, modernism has no authority or right to judge traditionalism from its own limited perspective. The naysayers of traditionalism today would never submit themselves to such scrutiny. Shouldn't tradition too be able to judge the parameters of modernity? If that is not possible, then where is the space for critical analysis and free speech we talk about? The Indian system of leadership did not function like the Western monarchy. One has to study the methodology used in Indian knowledge systems. If we scan history, we come across several striking illustrations of the prevalence of the concept of free speech. Here are just a few. 1. King Owaina was an unjust, tyrannical ruler. His subordinates and educators often tried to advise him, but he turned a deaf ear to them. When his atrocities become intolerable, he was killed by the citizens and a new king was crowned. Sumantra was Dasarath's charioteer, a humble position of employment perhaps, but he had the freedom of speech and authority to reprimand Queen Kaikeyi for his insistence on sending Lord Ram to the forest. Bhis, the revered warrior hero of the Mahabharata, himself the son of the ruling king Shantanu, strongly advocated that a cruel king deserved to be outset by the subjects. Sanjay, the ordinary secretary of the powerful Dhritarashtra, would give strongly worded warnings to his king, but he was never in fear of being harmed or removed from his post. King Bharat chose a qualified person, an outsider, over his inefficient sons to serve as his successor. Dhritarashtra was advised to do away with his firstborn when his newborn son gave all indications of being a destructive force in the making. Ravan, a powerful king in his own right, was dethroned for his arrogance by the mighty and righteous Ram. Take a moment and give a thought to the so called free world we live in today. Do our newspapers really disseminate news fairly without taking sides? Is there a safe place for honest speech? Even if such a place does exist, will it ever find the kind of media coverage and sponsorship as corrupt speech and wrongdoers enjoy? Who can be entrusted with presenting reality and analyzing it purely logically, impartially? To judge and decide for oneself the worth and value of word and deed, one must be brutally honest, at least within, if not without. Every system of regulation has its good and bad sides, but such judgment can only be pronounced by those who are truly transparent within, who see things from the perspective of objective dharma, which is universal, secular, and unbiased. But how many of us have such unclouded vision? How many of us perceive reality for what it is and not what we want it to be? Thank you so much, friends. If you are liking this topic, please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Bye. Take care.